Geek Out!
Pinky's up, time for another Geek Out Book Club. I'm Sam.
I'm Jake.
And this week we're going to be talking about Alex Campi and Tony Parker's Mayday, the first in the Codename Felix series. The first volume, which collects the series' first 5 issues, comes out in comic book stores everywhere and on Comixology on Wednesday, May 24th. Jake, what'd you think of the book?
I really enjoyed it. The word I kept coming back to was like kinetic. Kinetic as fuck. And well, no, but I mean, like the action is, and you know, we talk about this. You know, obviously we do an interview that'll come out later, but like we talked to them about this, and the realism that is in especially for me, my favorite part in the first volume is the shootout.
Yes.
I love a good shootout, and it's not a like
stylized.
Not at all. It is not stylized at all. You know, it's super brutal, and again, the violence in this is brutal. It's not like
that's the thing about the Campi books; they're all rooted in like real world consequence. You see that, you know, we've reviewed No Mercy on the show. Mm-hmm. We've reviewed even something as fantastical as like Semi-Auto Magic.
Yeah,
people get hurt.
Yeah,
like mistakes bear consequences,
and I think a lot of that does come from her love and influence of old Uncle Sam Peckinpah. Like, you know, that's something we always like jokingly talk about with her, but like it's something that, you know, obviously she's super passionate about that, and it shows in her work as just one of the many influences, which I love when we talk to her.
A little Melville
like,
too,
mm-hmm.
if you've ever like seen The Red Circle.
Mm-hmm. You know, the spy aspect of it, you get the realism, but then you get like the trippy like LSD and the colors in that.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, man.
Holy shit. Awesome.
Yeah. Well done. And blonde on colors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's just a super cool spy book, but again, it takes the source material really seriously. We talk a lot about the music that is associated in the book. What at the beginning of each book having a quote from different criminals of the era. Yeah. Spread all around. It's you know, it's weird. Like, I don't want to say like fun, because again, it's a serious.
It's not like it's not a dour book.
No, it's not. But like I don't want, you know, it takes it seriously, and it's the importance in talking to Alex and Tony is the realism of the book. Yeah. And that shows. And again, just picking a favorite thing of it, just like that shootout was something that like had everything I really enjoyed. The layouts.
Yeah, it's a very, you know, like you said, it's grounded in realism, but there is a sense of, and I think you mentioned as much in the interview, you feel like you've gone through 15 rounds. You
feel exhausted, and I wanted to stress that it was a compliment. Like,
yeah.
You're just clutching the book, you know, you're just like, shit.
It's very tense, very tense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, like they don't pull any punches on the violence depicted.
And the research shows.
Very big attention to detail.
Big attention to detail. The research definitely shows.
Yeah. You know, it's, you know, as a brief overview, if you didn't hear our review of the first issue back in whenever the first issue came out, I think it was the beginning of the end of this year, or end of this previous year.
Dang.
Yeah, I know, wild. I think the big thing is, so it follows these two, you know, Soviet Union operatives in the United States in the early 70s, 71 to be specific, and you know, it's them trying to deliver this, you know, there's a bit of a MacGuffin, but it's, you know, like the entire book, it's very much grounded in realism, and it, you know, twisted alliances. Obviously, you know, the American intelligence elements get involved as well, and it's just a collision course across 5 issues. Yeah, and it's, you know, it's mayhem, and it certainly lives up to its title. Yeah,
and I think there is. I misspoke. There is elements of fun in it. Like I said, I don't want to say that like it's not a fun like, but I mean it's more of like it's taking that source material and the time period and the research of it and the brutal violence of it. You know, that is for me, like that was the core of the book. Like reading that is what made it. But I enjoyed it about the book.
Yeah,
you know?
It's a page turner. I mean, you get through this book, you know, because you genuinely care about these characters, even as they are forced to do some heinous things to survive. Yeah. Because that's the only way they know how. And in some cases, that is the only way how. So I think that, you know, that speaks volumes as well. The fact that we care about, you know, Felix and Rose, the main characters, so much. Yes. So, you know, again, out in comic book stores everywhere on Wednesday, May 24th, and on Comixology. If you're more digitally inclined, And watch this space. Watch this space tomorrow, because we'll have Alex and Tony on to talk about it. This has been another Geek Out Book Club. I'm Sam.
I'm Jake.
Keep reading. This has been another Geek Out production. If you enjoyed what you heard, hey, we've got a special episode every Friday. Of course, there's the usual catching up show every Wednesday, and you get book club episodes just about every Tuesday these days. Thanks for listening.